In this video, I'm going to go over 4 things you should always keep in your saddlebags when riding your motorcycle. All right, so these 4 things you should always have with you in your saddlebags aren't going to be in any particular order, just as I roll them out, but it's definitely something, especially if you're going to be doing trips, maybe not so much on just, running a couple quick errands down the street, but if you are going on longer rides or trips or something like that, you should always have these 4 things. So the first item is the Fantix X9 Pro Portable Tire Inflator. You've probably seen some other YouTubers talk about this, but it is awesome. You can find this on Amazon. Usually MSRP is around $69. Currently it's on sale for about $49. So this does go on sale quite a bit. So keep a lookout for it. And when it says it does have a long-lasting battery, they are not lying. I have purchased this back in, I think, November of last year, charged it once, and it's still showing a full battery. I haven't had to do a whole lot of tire inflations with this, just maybe a pound or 2 here and there, but it still has a full battery life, even though it's just been sitting, not being used. Sometimes batteries drain and stuff like that, but this has still kept a full battery. And according to their website, which I would probably believe, is that this can actually run continuously for about 23 minutes before it runs out of battery. There is an internal cooling system here that kind of keeps it cool, and it's not too loud when you're using it, not loud at all, especially compared to like a normal air compressor. So the fact that this thing has a long-lasting battery and it just does not take up much room at all, it's pretty light. And to actually turn it on, you just take this knob out here and then it automatically turns on. And then when you want to turn it off, you can just plug that back in and it turns off to save the battery life. So that is awesome. And then so to use it, you just take this off, you just screw this into your valve stem of your tire, and it'll automatically show you what your current PSI is on your tires. And if it is low, all you have to do is hit the up arrow to whatever you want it to be, and then it'll automatically start airing up your tire. Again, it does not take very long at all. But if you check your tire, you're good. Just unscrew it and then just plug it back in like that. It'll automatically turn off and just throw it back in your bag. And the cool thing is on the bottom of this, you'll see it does have the USB-C charger. So it charges USB-C. There's a little door here where there's a separate attachment. So if you need to use this little needle here for anything to air up there, there is a separate attachment, so that is nice to have as well. And one thing I do like about it is it does have a preset mode. So I know that the tires on my bike need to be set at 32 PSI. So when I do first start this up, it shows 32, so that way I kind of always remember what I need that tire pressure to be. This does have a maximum inflation pressure of 150 PSI. So what that means is you will be able to basically inflate any tire you need with this thing. It'll work on motorcycle tires, regular car tires, bicycle tires, so very versatile. So even if you want to just take this and put it in your car when you're not using it on your bike, you can definitely do that. And it is definitely a lifesaver if you are out on the road in the middle of the nowhere and you notice your tire pressure is low. Just take this thing out and it'll get your tire back up to where you need it. So again, this is the Fantix X9 Pro Portable Tire Inflator. I will post a link to this on Amazon and check that out if you want to. It is currently on sale. And again, with the holidays coming up, it'll probably go on and off out of sale. So just keep a lookout for that. But normal price of this is about 69 bucks. The second item that I always recommend is in this bag, which is rain gear. You never know when you're going to be caught in rain, even if the forecast always says, it's not going to rain or just a small chance. That means it's probably going to rain because they're always wrong. I wish I had a job to where you can be wrong and just say, hey, the weather's unpredictable. But that's neither here or there. So I definitely didn't spend a lot of money on this rain gear. I don't ride in the rain a lot. If I do know it's going to be raining quite a bit, I just don't go riding. I'm what you would call a fair weather rider. But there's times when you're taking it on a trip, you're going to probably at some point run into rain, and riding in your wet clothes is not very fun. So this is just an inexpensive jacket and pants that I got from a local cycle gear store. I think it's a Built brand is the brand of it, BILT. But I think altogether it was probably around $100. Give or take. I know you can spend a lot of money, especially if you go with the Harley Davidson brand and stuff, but you really don't need to, because it's honestly just for rain gear and that's it. What I like about it is, yes, it's black, but because you want to be visible, there are reflectors on here that you can see. So that way, when it is raining and lights are shining on you, people will be able to see you. You can just easily pull off onto the side of the road and then put these on over your normal clothes. The pants actually have a buckle here. They'll actually tie down to your boots, and then that way helps keep you a lot drier, and there are elastic bands on these. So there's a ton of different types of rain gear out there, so whatever suits or fits you. I just went with kind of a more budget friendly version because I, again, don't ride out in the rain a whole lot. But in the event that I am on a longer trip and I do run into rain, I could just pull over, put this stuff on, and then take it off as needed. It's not something that you always have to keep in your saddlebags, like I said, especially if you're just doing some quick errands around and it's really no rain in the forecast. But longer trips, definitely recommend having some sort of rain gear in your saddlebags. So the third thing that you should always keep in your bags is some sort of first aid or trauma medical kit, because you never know if anything bad is going to happen. May not even be to you, maybe somebody that, if you're riding in a group, something happens to one of your riders in that group, or if you just happen to come across a motorcycle accident or even a car accident, you can help out until first responders show up and can take it from there. But you just never know. Even if you just cut yourself and then, you don't want blood getting all over your gloves or something like that. That way you have like some bandage to address that. But some sort of trauma kit or medical kit will do. This is one that I just bought from a more of like a survival gear store here. It's a trauma kit V1. It's around $40, but it does come with this cool MOLLE case and everything. And a lot of them come with everything you need. Especially the trauma kits, they come with like a list of what's in here, and opening it up, you can kind of see there's pretty much everything you need to hold you over until the first responders get there. It does have a list of everything that's in here. So you got a blood stop trauma dressing, you got Sissy wrap, bandages, butterfly closures, triangular bandages, gauze, a combine pad, alcohol wipes, surgical tape, tweezers, antimicrobial wipes, an iPad, burn cream, 2 ibuprofen, and then a first aid and CPR guide. That's kind of nice because in case you don't know what to do, you can kind of refer to that guide. So there's all sorts of different companies out there that make these kind of trauma kits. So depending on your budget and what you want to have in the kit, there's a bunch of different ones that you can get, and they're all pretty much laid out in nice compact ways, and they usually come with some sort of bag with a MOLLE kit that if you do have a backpack or something that has a MOLLE system, you can just put that on there. I have for my vehicle, I have basically a get home bag that I keep one of these in as well, and I can actually attach this to the outside MOLLE system of that bag, so there's more room in the bag as well. So may go over that on one of my other channels as far as a get home bag, things like that. But definitely some sort of medical kit for your bike, because you just never know. And in the worst case event that something does happen, you do have something to kind of hold you or somebody else over until first responders can get there. Or if it's minor, you can address it and then move on. And then possibly also a tourniquet that could go in these. Those are a little bit pricey, but you never know. A tourniquet could come in handy as well. I think I have one somewhere. I need to find it, but that's something that you can either purchase separately or purchase one of the kits with a tourniquet as well. And the fourth thing on the list is some sort of toolkit, just to get you by, because you never know if something's going to happen while you're riding down the road, especially if you have an older motorcycle. If you've watched Adam Sandoval, any of his recent videos, he was riding a 1970s Harley and it just kept breaking down on him. And luckily, the people he was riding with or people that he had met out on the road happened to have a small toolkit to kind of do a Band-Aid fix on the bike. So if you are in that situation, don't really have to worry about it on newer bikes, but with a Harley, they do vibrate, stuff comes loose. So you want to at least have some sort of simple tools to be able to fix minor issues, or at least get you to where you need to go, to where you can address a bigger issue if you have one. They do make pre-made kits for motorcycles. Harley has one. It's a little expensive for what you get. So you can just go buy like a cheap roll bag or some sort of tool bag and then fill it with stuff from like Harbor Freight. They have, cheap tools that are decent, that'll get the job done, especially for just a spare toolkit. You don't need to spend a lot of money, but just get some common tools that you might need on your motorcycle. Definitely like a screwdriver set, the Torx pick set for Harleys, maybe some common sockets, Allen keys, whatever you think you might need for your bike. Definitely maybe some zip or cable ties, maybe a little thing of electrical tape as well. So just some sort of toolkit, just in case something happens, you're able to kind of hopefully fix that minor issue until you can get somewhere else and don't have to wait for roadside assistance. Or if it's something simple, you're able to just pull over and whip out that kit, tighten some things down, and then move on with your day. Now, a bonus thing is something probably every motorcyclist should have, and that's just some sort of waterproof bag to put your registration and your insurance card in, just because if you get pulled over, which a lot of us do, you have that readily available. I had just the papers in like my handlebar bag, but I noticed that bag isn't necessarily waterproof. So I was getting some water damage to the papers. So I ended up getting this off of Amazon. It's just a waterproof bag. It wasn't very expensive. And I just have my registration and my insurance paperwork in here. And I keep that in my saddle bag, which you can lock. That way nobody gets your information out of that easily. So it's not necessary that you have one of these, but definitely something to think about to put your paperwork if you do want to keep it on your bike, or if you just keep it in your wallet or something like that too. But I like less stuff in my wallet, so I put it in these waterproof and fireproof bag, and then just keep it locked in one of my saddle bags. Now, since I mentioned saddlebags, this is obviously geared toward more cruiser style motorcycles. I do have a Lowrider ST. Since the bags are smaller, I have the stock bags. The smallest one over the exhaust, I keep all that stuff in. Again, the rain gear I kind of take in and out, but everything else I just keep in that one smaller bag. And then the larger bag on the other side is where I keep my like cameras and like everyday stuff that I might need. But if you don't have actual saddlebags on your motorcycle, like when I had my Sportster, I still wanted to keep this stuff on my bike, but obviously with the Sportster, there was no storage room whatsoever. So I got a Sissy Bar Bag off of Amazon. It was a Kimimoto Sissy Bar Bag, and this is actually it right here. I still use this on my Lowrider ST for some extra storage. If I want to bring like an extra helmet or anything, this actually fits a full size helmet as well. And this thing has been awesome. It was really great on my Sportster because I had a Sissy Bar and I was able to just put this over the Sissy Bar and then move on with my day. I was able to run errands. I ran to the post office and I had a decent sized package that I was able to fill in here. So if you want something kind of budget friendly, the Kimimoto stuff is pretty cool. I'll post a link to this one in the description below. They don't have this all black one anymore. The one that's now available has a little bit more red here in the center, but still the same type of bag. And it is waterproof. And then if you're worried about water still getting in the bag, they actually give you a cover that is waterproof to go over this bag as well, that I just keep kind of stored in one of these pockets right here. So if you do get caught in the rain and you're still worried about stuff in here getting wet, just pop this on over the bag and it'll keep everything dry. As you can see, it does have some different pockets in here. It opens up the main compartment up top here, and there is a ton of room. The interior size of this is about 30 liters, so it does hold quite a bit. And so I don't know if this is getting on camera, but fully stuffed, I mean, this thing can hold a lot of stuff. I had a helmet in here, plus some shirts and some other things, and it held everything just fine. It has D-rings kind of throughout here. And then on the back is where you would put this over a Sissy Bar if you have one. Now, if you don't have a Sissy Bar, not a problem. It does have straps to where you can lay this maybe on the like behind your seat over the fender. Use these straps to buckle it down to your bike and secure it that way. So even though it says it's a Sissy Bar bag, you don't necessarily need a Sissy Bar to mount this. This will still mount to your bike without that, using those straps. And then if you're worried about this falling off your bike or getting blown off your bike, you can also use these straps to kind of secure it to your Sissy Bar as well, which I do occasionally if I'm going on the highway. Just for a peace of mind, I'll throw some straps around there just to make sure it's secured. And the Velcro on here is pretty sturdy, and it just Velcros and then rolls up if you don't have it filled up all the way. And then there is a buckle that can actually hold it down if you don't have a whole lot of stuff in there. And inside there's another zipper pocket and everything like that. There's one thing to note is the interior is black, so it could be harder to find stuff, especially at night. But this thing was definitely a game changer for my Sportster. So if you have something like that that isn't the Lowrider ST or a touring bike with saddlebags, this is a great option that won't break the bank. Because as cool as some of those Harley Davidson branded ones are, those are expensive. And even some other Sissy Bar or luggage stuff, it does get pretty pricey. And this is around 60 bucks. I'll post a link to this one down below. Again, the one available now is a little bit red, but definitely recommend this. The Kimimoto stuff is actually pretty good. That is the same handlebar setup that I have as well, the handlebar bag. So I have no complaints with this Kimimoto stuff. So far, so good. And there is a handle on here if you want to take it off of your bike. And there are straps to strap around your shoulder too if you want to use it kind of like a backpack style. You can see on the bottom there's a little harder piece here just to help keep the form and everything. But I'll do a full review on this thing actually out on the bike and everything, so it might be a little bit easier to see. But since we were talking about stuff to store, All that stuff would easily fit in this Sissy Bar Bag if you don't have saddlebags. If there's anything else that you guys recommend or keep in your bike all the time, let us know down below. There's probably other stuff I forgot, and there's definitely a lot more things you can keep in there, but I wanted to kind of keep it simple, not a whole lot of bulky stuff, but some practical things to keep in there and consider. So if you got any value out of this video, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It does help the channel out. And go ahead and take a look at these videos that the YouTube algorithm is recommending for you.